You are indeed in for a treat now. This guy, I have seen this guy many times. Not just here. I've seen him in St. Charles. He's bi-coastal too. I've seen him in Kenosha. Seriously. One of the funniest up-and-comers on the scene. You're going to have a great time. Please give a warm welcome to Mr. Ted Wilson.
All right, Gator Moms, one more time for Mike Preston, everybody. Oh, man, I love coming out here. I love coming to Crystal Lake, to the Row. I hear it's a very beautiful theater out there. One day someone's going to have to explain to me what that auditorium looks like. They just let me in this part. But I love doing this. I love this. I wish this was my job from day one, but it hasn't been. I've done other things. I used to work in IT. I know you guys are seeing me and looking at me and hearing my voice, and this is not the voice you hear when you call IT, right? There's a stereotype of what they look like, where they're probably from, and I get it. I'm a lot sexier than they are, and I like to appreciate you guys for thinking that. It's really nice of you. Do you guys know what the IT mantra is, what our slogan is, what we tell you whenever something's broken? Reboot. Have you tried turning it off and on again? That's right. That's what we do. And if that doesn't work, some of my peers, they don't know what to do. They're screwed. So I sit next to them in the cubicle back in the day, and it'd be like, yeah, hello, IT, can I help you? Yeah, my computer's not working. I wonder if you could help me. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. Have you tried rebooting it? Yeah, I tried that. It didn't work. He knew the thing, and it didn't work. Like, calm down. We've got procedures. Open Google. Ask him what his symptoms are. Sir, if you could just explain to me what your symptoms are, we'd be great. Well, I Googled it. He knows about the Googles, too. I think he's a wizard. How does he know that? Because that's all they wanted to learn. That's all they wanted to know. If it wasn't in Google or in a guide, you weren't getting help. They wanted no growth out of their job. And I like to learn stuff and grow and take stuff to future jobs or take it home and learn. And so my favorite part was going out and meeting the people, like your beautiful crowd here, and setting up their computers or their networks or their Wi-Fi. And because in previous jobs I'd grown a little too much, I don't fit where you plug in computers or networks or Wi-Fi. So I had to learn to do it all by hand. I couldn't do it by sight because I couldn't see where I was going, so it was all tactile. You know, when you get in a friend's car and you try to plug in their USB and you plug it in the first way and then it doesn't fit, you flip it over, you plug it in the second way. So then you go back to the first way and it finally works again. Yeah, I don't know how that works yet. That's wizardry. That is actual wizardry. I don't know how that works. But I don't have to do that because I can do it just by feel. And I can plug in any device without having to see it. And let me tell you, for a guy my size, that's a pretty good skill to have. Yeah, this guy gets it. So, because I'm a guy my size, I do have other skills I know about. Like, I know a lot about food, surprisingly. I don't know if you know that. But let me tell you this might rock you to your core, this might crumble your foundations. I'm gonna tell you right now that the BLT is not an actual sandwich. It's not. It's a sandwich starter kit. It's kind of like some assembly required. It's the IKEA of sandwiches. It's not all there. Because if you can go to a restaurant and order a bacon cheeseburger with lettuce and tomato and it's $10, and you can order a BLT with that's $13 further down the menu, either you're getting screwed or you need to go in the back and see what they're calling beef. I don't know how they're doing that. That math doesn't work for me. But, and some restaurants have caught on that I've sussed out their ways. I've figured out with my Nancy Drew skills that they're trying to screw us. So they start selling the BALT, the BALT, the bacon, avocado, lettuce, and tomato. And that's fine, they can do whatever they want. Put some crap on a sandwich, charge $1,000 to the millennials, I don't care. Do whatever you want. But there's someone getting screwed in that scenario, and that's the mayonnaise contingent. Mayonnaise has been there since day one. You can't make a good BLT without mayonnaise, right? But you've never heard of an MBLT, a BLMT, a BM... Oh, okay, say those out loud before you come on stage. That one didn't work. But that's fine, mayonnaise is gross, and I don't care that it's shunned. You can have all the mayonnaise that was ever allotted to me. You guys can spread it amongst yourselves, it's gross. Do you guys even know what mayonnaise is? Yeah, it's just eggs whipped up in fat. That's all it is, it's just eggs suspended in fat. Technically, when I eat eggs, I become mayonnaise. It's a scientific fact. I become Hellmann's because you guys deserve the very best, but you don't want me in your BLT. I mean, your experiences might differ, I don't know. I do a lot of traveling for this job, so I do try to think of experiences while I'm driving that we could, keep us together, stuff that we do, because we all have different jobs and home lives and hobbies and stuff, so we do have a lot of different things we do. But as I was driving, it occurred to me that driving is one of the things that we can all kind of relate to, because people have driven, or I know some people are too old or too young, or they work in the city, they don't have to drive, but you've been in a car, you know what's going on. So I'm going to talk about something that everyone talks about when they're driving, and that's invisible cars. Right, you guys know about the invisible cars? Picture this, you're out at a comedy show put on with 2 mics and a Ted, a real hot show, or you're doing something else on the weekend, whatever people do late at night, church, I think, maybe. I don't get out much. And you're driving in a desolate road with just nothing around, and suddenly you see the light go from green to yellow, and there's no one there, and you're looking left and right, and you're like, what jackass tripped this? But there's no one there. It's an invisible car, right? And you're thinking maybe this is some sort of Northbrook cop thing, and they're trying to give you a ticket. So you got to decide, do I slow down? Do I speed up to go through it? Now, you've been doing a lot of heavy churching, so you decide to slow down. And the second your car ends its momentum, that light goes back to green, right? And it's not because they've timed these lights weird at 2 a.m., it's because it's invisible cars. My Nancy Drew skills are on point. You can take that to the bank. Scenario number 2, you're at a stoplight, there's a car in front of you, and you can't quite see around it, but you can tell how far you are from the light. You can tell distances, right? You know where you're at. And so you think, there's got to be 5, 6 cars between me and this. Well, we'll make this light. I mean, I'm a little late for work, a little extra churching last night, we'll be fine. And then the light goes green, you start counting the cars. And 1, 2, 3, 11, 9. Where do these cars come from? There was no way. Did a parking garage pop up between me and this car by the light? Because I've never misjudged the length of anything in my life. I have always been dead accurate on the length of, you can check with my wife, she will back me up on this. Thank you for getting that. That's embarrassing. Scenario 3 is very similar, where you're behind a car on a 2-lane road. It's rated for 55. People sometimes go 70. Not me, sir, I swear. Some people go 70, but they're only going 30, and this guy in front of you can't see around him, so you're like swearing to this guy. You're like doing left, he goes left, you're going right, he goes left. Doing the same, you can't get around him. And you're like, you son of a bitch, you jackass. As soon as I get around you, I'm going to flip you the bird. I'm going to invent birds. I'm going to flip you everything I've ever known. Birds are in your future, buddy. That's all I'm saying. And then you get to a point where you can get around him, and you realize, oh, there was a car in front of him. I didn't realize. I thought that was you. I was contemplating murdering you 2 seconds ago. I'm sorry. You and your beautiful family. Now I've got to change allegiances. Now we're against this guy. What are you doing, pal? Why are you holding up my buddy and his family here? I mean, yeah, I was contemplating murder them 2 seconds ago, but now we're against you. Now, the flip side of that, sometimes you come around the corner and it's a lovely police officer, and you got to do the, oh, how you doing? I didn't see you there. I thought this guy was tailgating you. I just wanted to know I had your back, protect and serve. You're going, no, you don't need to know what I was doing. I'm going to come right back here. You're fine. We're good. I'm right back here. I'm going to church, buddy. See you later. Invisible cars, they're out there. But sometimes the cars aren't invisible when they mess you up. You ever come to a 4-way stop at the same time as 3 other cars and you don't know what the hell to do? So you're like, is it you? Is it me? Is it me? You? I'm to the right of you, but you're to the... Everyone's to the right. Where do you go? And while you're debating this and trying to figure this out, one guy takes off. And then the other 3 of you team up. He's like, where's this asshole going? Who does this guy think he is? Hey, buddy, we're having a debate back here. I need you to pull it back. And the reason why you're so pissed is because he thought of it first. But 4-way stops make sense because they're stop signs. They're harsh signs that say stop. They're replacing those now. Do you guys have roundabouts out here? Somewhere? I've seen some out west a little bit. And they've taken that harsh stop sign, the one that makes sense, and replaced it with a yield sign. That makes me feel comfortable. Because I can't tell you how many times I've been on a highway, I'm in the far right lane, there's semis to my left, and I look ahead and I see 6 cars coming down that on-ramp, and the only thing between me and instant death is a yield sign. I'm gonna make it, there's no problem. So you get to a roundabout, and now there's 4 yield signs. A sign that's basically the sign equivalent of some guy going, do whatever you want. You guys figure it out, we don't want to mess with it. And you get there and you're like, do I go in the circle now? Where do I turn signal here or over there? I want to go over there. I don't know how did 4 people get in the circle? There was no one here. What's going on? So, and again, this isn't me, sir, but I've seen people just drive right over those. I don't know what they're doing. But the worst thing about driving for me is geese. Yeah, I know, you're like, what, Ted, what does geese have to do with driving? Well, I'll tell you this, geese can fly, I don't know if you know this. These are majestic animals. They can break the bonds that hold us mere mortals to the ground and soar above the sky. They can fly amongst the clouds. Yet, after I have figured out the invisible cars and gotten through the 4-way stops and circumnavigated all the roundabouts on my way to work, suddenly I gotta wait for these feathered meat bags to walk one at a time across the street. And they know I know that they can fly. They're looking me dead in the eye and they're doing it just to piss me off, right? And it's weird because I won't drive through these birds. There's nothing I can do. I won't murder these birds, even though 2 scenarios back, I was contemplating murdering that man in that SUV. But I won't drive through these birds. I won't murder them. Not again. Yeah, those PETA people get really pissed off, I tell you what. But the worst part about driving has got to be the DMV, or the Secretary of State here, right? Is Jesse White still the Secretary of State? Yeah, that was a trick question. He's been in there since Lincoln. But those tumblers, man, I tell you, those tumblers. Do you guys like going to the DMV? No? I get a lot of no's here. I love going to the DMV. I love it. Because any given day I go there, I'm a 7, possible 8 guy at the DMV. I'm the hot guy at the DMV. It doesn't look like this beautiful crowd at the DMV. Well, not you, sir. But it doesn't look like this crowd. You get there and you're like, this cannot be a microcosm of the community I chose to buy a house in, right? These are not my peers and neighbors, is it? Is it free museum day at the DMV? Like, what's going on here? I can't figure this out. And you know you're going to be there with them for a while because you have to allocate 4 to 5 years to be in that line because they mess you up. They got that numbering system. I always get the worst number. I pull it down. I got ampersand L. Does anyone know where the ampersands go? Where's my sands at? Where are my amps? My amps over here? Where are we going? Looking for ampersand. Oh, I just got the last one. It's time to reorder, guys. Apparently that's what we're talking about. And that's how they train you to do these roundabouts and four-way stops, because it's either 14 lines going into 3 windows, or it's 3 lines going into 14 windows, and you got to get there and you go, is it you? Is it me? Is it you? Is it me? I don't know. And then again, that same asshole from the four-way stop jumps up and you go, like, come on, buddy. This is my turn. So, and I know you guys are thinking, why did you just do this online, Ted? Why didn't you just do the thing? Because you can do that now, right? Well, you know, I'd got some speeding tickets or moving violation or vehicular... There's something I had done where I had to go down to the DMV, right? So I hand the guy my letter and my driver's license, and he looks at it, and me, and it, and me, and it, and me, and I think, this guy sees 1 million of these a day. If I've stumped the band, I should get a prize and go home, right? But he's formulating what he can say to me to mostly blow my mind, and the first thing out of his mouth is, "Sir, are you ever going to go back?" To which I reply, of course, because I'm a comedian, "Land's sake, son, I hope to go back. I want to see what Timmy's done with the fields and the farm, because I've been here near on 5 years. Maybe Timmy's found his own girl and some wee ones to raise his own family. I hope to get back, sir. Maybe we can have a conversation. You can let me go." To which he says, "Sir, I appreciate the humor. I just need to know if you're ever going to go back. Back to school, back to the future, back rack. I don't get what you're asking me, buddy. Just tell me what the nugget of information is that you need from me. I will give it to you. We can never talk again. We can both live happy lives." And he says to me, and I swear to God this is the truth, "Sir, are you ever going to go back to not being bald?" I didn't know you could do that at the DMV. I thought you had to go in there and tell them your actual vital statistics, how big and how, and then you put it on the little white card that you never look at again, you stick in your wallet until 5 years later when you vehicular man, and you have to come back in. But had I known I could make it up, I would have given myself a little more and a little less, right? I didn't know. But the best part, the joke's on him. I can grow hair. I can grow what the stylist called a public toilet seat haircut. You guys know what that is? Because I can grow hair from here all the way around to here. I just can't make it meet in the middle. It's a dead sexy haircut. I didn't wear it for you guys. I didn't want you guys got crazy, especially for you, sir. But the best part, the very best part, is that he thinks I look like this on purpose. Like I chose this look. This is my default look. I could look differently, and this is what I chose. Like every night, I would go home and lay down in my bed and pray to little baby Jesus that I would grow up to look like a thumb with a beard. Yeah, there it is, ladies and gentlemen, the best joke, and it's about my actual face. But, I mean, I didn't choose to look like that. I mean, clearly I didn't fight it very hard, but so it leads to other problems. Like you've heard of first world problems? Well, I have to deal with fat world problems. Like I haven't accurately cut my toenails in probably 6 years. Because every time I do end up doing some sort of yoga interpretive dance, you know, where I'm like... And I still have talons down there, but I can make it rain the next 3 counties over. I had a friend once say, "Ted, why don't you just put your foot on something stationary and then bend over and clip your nails?" And the last time I did that, I blew out 3 pairs of pants. But I was only wearing one of them at the time. Clothes are hard for me. I can't buy stuff off the rack. I mean, and don't make much to get stuff tailored, so I have to buy whatever's there at you guys can probably assume, the Goodwill rack, right? And I can buy 7 shirts that are all 2X, and none of them are the same. Like I bought one shirt where the torso went all the way down to my knees. The sleeves barely came over my shoulder. It turned out I bought a dress. But they're not really like organized at the Goodwill, so that was kind of on them. I mean, I still wear it. It's still in my rotation. It's very comfortable, very flowing. It's very nice. I also I have to be careful with pants. Like these pants, the waist fit, because I've learned the hard way. When they don't, you guys see things that no one wants to see. But if it comes out tomorrow, if we see it tomorrow, it's 6 more weeks of winter. So we need to keep it under the pants. But the problem is they think I'm so fat that I need all this leg. You guys see how much leg I got working on here? Look at all this leg. Like I promise you, Crystal Lake, I'm not trying to smuggle out the fruits and vegetables indicative of your town. I don't need pants like this. I'm not trying to smuggle kids in. These pants are ridiculous because that's how the companies see the fat man. They think we're funny. So I think we should turn it around on the companies. Is it all right to pick on some companies right now, ladies and gentlemen? Yeah. Sure. Thank you, sir. I really appreciate it. You've been a great sport having that face. There's a company out there, I don't know if you know if it's still alive, and when I say it, you're going to be surprised. Radio Shack is actually still out there. Did you guys know that? No. Yeah, there's like 8 of them left. But the point is like, I think they should have changed their name a while ago. Like, have you ever wanted to go to a shack to buy a radio? I mean, it's something you need at a place you'd never want to go to. Like, could you imagine if the restaurant facilities decided to do that? Hey, Bob, let's go take that meeting down at the steak sewer. Or, hey, honey, run up the kids. We're going to go to the ice cream dumpster. Or, hey, I'm pretty hungry. I'm going to go get fried chicken Kentucky. Oh, that is a thing. McDonald's gets a bad rap, right? They get blamed for the childhood obesity epidemic and my obesity. That one they're kind of right on, though. That's fine. But they've been warning us since day one. They made their corporate mascot a creepy clown and we kept taking our kids. They invented what appears to me to be a sentient purple turd named Grimace. They warned us what would happen after we ate the food and we kept coming. They could just change that slogan to ba-da-ba-ba-ba. We warned your ass. Speaking of obesity, I don't know if you have people that drink soft drinks. It's said that they're heavier than other people. They've made that connection that if you drink enough soft drinks, you will get fat. Yet we continue to let a soft drink company call their product Coke. A very addictive product, and we call it Coke. Now, I don't know if you noticed in the 70s, some of the board members wanted to change it to heroin, but the CEO wanted to leave it something a little more on the nose. I know. I just want to see how many groans I get. I'm up to like 150, I think. Folgers has a slogan to this day that's, best part of waking up. I got to tell you, the best part of waking up is Folgers. You need to go back to bed. At best. You can extrapolate what you should do at worst, but at best you need to go back to bed because you've already given up. It's over. The dairy board got milk. I've never taken that as, hey, do you guys have our products and you really want to enjoy our services and everything? I've taken that more as, hey, buddy, you got milk? Because we know how to get it out of you. That mustache really sells it too. It's really gross, I gotta tell you. And there's some slogans and logos that they should run by the 6th graders, the middle schoolers, run by the gigglers, I call it. People like Timex with their takes a licking and keeps on ticking. UPS and their, what can Brown do for you? Look, I'm not opposed to a subtle poop joke every now and then, but not from a company that's gonna bring a package and put it on my stoop. I've seen enough prank videos to know where this is going. And the worst one of that bunch is Gatorade. Gatorade, you all know what that does, right? Especially probably your Gator moms maybe know what that's about. But it's a sports drink, it's supposed to enhance in performance, and some of the sports people take steroids to enhance performance. So it increases their strength, but it minimizes something else. It makes something really big and strong, but it makes something else kind of minuscule. I don't know if you know what I'm talking about. But Gatorade has a slogan that's actually the slogan. It's Gatorade. Is it in you? I don't know if that's the look they're going for, to be honest with you. And we're gonna leave it with this one. The last one, this is the one I came up with, and hey buddy, work the mic the right way. This is the one I came up with, and I know why the company can't use it, and you're gonna find out in a second here. It's for Imodium. We all know what Imodium does, right? We all know what that's for. We all know what symptoms it takes care of. I mean, we don't have to giggle about it. Well, we're adults, get it out if you have to. The giggles, not the gross. But think it's just one man or woman standing, looking right into camera, holding the product, looking you right in the face and saying, Imodium, get your shit together. Thank you very much, Crystal Lake. I really appreciate it. Let's bring your host up here one more time. Mr. Mike.